Hey, thank you, Shishir. Very, very insightful topics that you just covered. And again, it's been a great morning listening to first Saurabh, then Uttyo, and all the good stuff. So again, I think Shishir has already given a very good background around the ecosystem, some examples, the drivers, and how to make it happen. I'm going to give a little bit more of a practitioner's view to that. I've been fortunate to utilize a lot of technology in my area over the last, I would say, accelerated in the last 5 to 7 years. And again, I think if I were to really reflect back, and I think Shishu just touched in his presentation around the whole value creation in today's enterprises. So I was just thinking about what really are the value creation in the digital ecosystem. Now, if you would really look at it, we are already sitting in the world of age of Uber, Netflix, and all the others. So again, there are new sources of revenue that can be created. You also use technology to rationalize your cost structure, drive a lot more efficiency across the globe, across supply chains, across your customer service operations, across the way you really address technology, whether you take kind of autonomous driving or the way connected cars are really moving on. And again, it's really enhancing the speed of technology adoption. Gone are the days when technology was seen as a as an enabler to some part of the business. I think that someone has touched it earlier. The blurring between a business strategy and a technology strategy is really blurred. And again, all of them really get into a very, very converged kind of a usage. The amount of data that we are having with all the ERPs that are being run across companies, or whichever way you're looking at it, the number of photographs that we all take on our cell phones, the data proliferation is again leading to a lot more possibility and opportunities of really building out new areas. And then again, I think as leaders, as business leaders, there are always these competing priorities that are there. And how do you really stay ahead of the game? Someone said that be disrupted or disrupt or be disrupted. And I think that's the piece where we really need to be thinking on in whichever area you're working on. How do you really kind of solve that customer's need? Another very interesting thing that I would like to share, we started with a lot of these health related apps, these wearables, etc., where people thought, yeah, it's probably good to just capture how many calories are kind of people kind of utilizing in a day or burning in a day and all of that. I think if you really look at the health sector, or what Shishir just gave the example of that automobile insurance, I find those as examples of customer empowerment. And when I say customer empowerment, as a customer, as a consumer of that technology, I can now really take a lot more informed decision, whether it's about the kind of insurance I take, or the kind of diet I have, or the kind of physical fitness regime that I get into. And I think that is customer empowerment. So those are some of the forces that are driving technology to be like it's enmeshed into the business, and you've got to really utilize that to handle the speed and the volatility. Uh, the way I have really kind of utilized technology in the past has been through a pretty simple kind of a framework, which I'm just sharing as an example. You've got to first get the data infrastructure in place. Across any organization, data is lying in very, very isolated systems. While we may have ERP, data is lying in multiple different fragmented systems. How do you really kind of get all of that together? In the initial time, a deal or an opportunity may be seen through an opportunity number, which then becomes an order number, which then becomes an invoice number. If you don't really have a method of just kind of connecting all these dots, right, from raw material to customer preferences to how your receivables are working out, you don't get a complete view. So getting all the data into one place so that you can then get that analytics and insights on top of that is the starting point. Then there are various techniques of visualization. and really ways of getting insights from that data, which can be the next way of really kind of winning. When I was running global financial shared services for Dell, we were managing a huge portfolio for Dell in terms of the dollars that my kind of team used to collect, and just using analytics, we could really kind of drive down 20% efficiency in terms of people focusing on what is the right way, and that's where analytics and data insights came into play. Once you have achieved that level of insight, it then leads to the automation of processes which are rules based, repetitive, and that's where you can then drive that automation. And again, last piece that really comes into is utilizing all that data and insights, like what Shishir shared was a beautiful example in Starships, is around a lot of these new technologies, whether it's through Internet of Things, robotics, or artificial intelligence and machine learning, to really then guide you to take on a lot more informed decision and maybe bring about a way of improving that process going forward because of the knowledge from the past. Uh, One of the pieces that I really utilized in my one of my last projects was around the way when I think you have a large customer base and you keep on getting a lot of customer payments coming in. This is always an accountant's nightmare to be able to reconcile that into your customer's ledger. We built a automated engine which was based on optical character recognition of which customer is sending against what invoice, and we could really kind of get customers to really do a lot more business with Dell because we were able to free up their credit limits really quickly. And there was a huge amount of customer satisfaction that really came about because there was nobody following them up for further kind of follow-ups, etc. So where I'm coming from with a few of these examples is technology can really kind of take the businesses or any of your enterprises to the next level. Even in the education sector today, what Utya was mentioning earlier, I think when you really think about all kinds of at your convenience learning, that is customer empowerment. Whichever courses you want to take at whatever time, and you've got a choice. So I think that's where the whole ecosystem, which is getting built around, is the one that will not only help enterprises, but also really leads to customer empowerment. So I think that's the kind of area that we'll all need to work through. You heard Utyo, you heard Shishir. It has to be a constant culture of learning and innovation. And again, all those who embrace that will be the ones that really kind of find a place under the future sun. And I think I'm happy to take more questions later, but hopefully just giving some of the frameworks that I could leverage in the past. Over to you, Shishir.